goodness, those clouds, the rain, the whole 9 yards. Fox Weather storm specialist Mike Seidel live for us in beautiful Clearwater Beach. It should be beautiful, but not so much right now.
Not right now.
Beachgoers, of course, Mike, kicking off the holiday weekend, and just looking behind you, doesn't look so sunny in the Sunshine State.
No, it's a lot stormier than it was this time yesterday morning. In fact, we're under this giant pavilion for safety. There's been quite a bit of lightning over the past 20, 25 minutes. I think I've counted about 10 bolts, and I mean bolts. They're coming down pretty close. I want to look behind us. Now we're looking basically off to the south over the Wyndham Grand, and you can see the very dark skies. Very heavy rain came through here. In fact, one of the personal rain gauges, personal weather stations just down the beach here, has picked up 1.44 inches since midnight. We had some heavy rain overnight, and we just picked up about another half to 3/4 of an inch of rain in less than a half an hour. It was coming down pretty hard. In fact, I can show you a video I shot out here. This is about 6:35 to 6:40. So about 30 minutes ago, we saw the squall coming, and these tropical squalls are very obvious. The wind picks up, and then within about 30 seconds, the rain just blows in. The peak gust with this storm from the weather station here at the pier, 31 miles an hour. So it got a bit frisky for a while. Very heavy rainfall. In fact, some of the gauges inland have had as much as 1.93, almost 2 inches of rain. On the current live radar, you can see where the worst of it is. The lightning strikes, they're heading over the causeway from Clearwater, off the beach now, Clearwater, and over towards the Tampa area. So be on the lookout this morning for that, for the rush hour. And meanwhile, we still have the upper level trough, a little pocket of cold air loft, which is going to be slow to get out of here off the west central coast of Florida and basically most of Florida. So that's going to induce showers and thunderstorms, especially with any kind of heating. And we get the heating, of course, in Florida here in the summertime, here in early July. So daily showers and thunderstorms. There will be times where you can get out on the beach and enjoy the weather. I do not think today is going to be as nice as yesterday, because yesterday we had no rain at all right here at Clearwater Beach. Water temperature this morning, 86 degrees, and the winds are almost dead calm now versus what we had with the squall line, or the squall. Remember, yesterday we had that fresh breeze, if you were watching, all day long. It kept us nice and cool on that sunny, hot beach. In fact, I want to show you a video from last night. This is 8 o'clock last night, just about a half an hour before sunset, and look at all the activity. The area was teeming with people, not only on the beach, but in the water. We didn't have a good sunset again last night because clouds rolled in, Michael and Craig. But today we're going to watch for the storms. And again, we're watching the Hurricane Center's updates every 6 hours on a potential tropical development off the southeast coast late this weekend or early next week. Whether that means an increased threat of storms for the Carolina beaches remains to be seen. It may all stay offshore.
So much. I know a lot of activities going on there throughout the Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater locations. So I know a lot of people will be watching and waiting for your updates. Mike Seidel, live from Clearwater Beach, Florida. Thank you so much.
That's where it's soggy, and head out to Clearwater Beach, Florida this morning. That's where Fox Weather storm specialist Mike Seidel is. Has the rain let up a bit, Mike? Man, those skies are looking a bit stormy.
Yeah, it looks threatening. We've got a very light shower right now. Let's go to the radar and show you what's going on. Just some light rain here at Clearwater Beach across Pinellas County. We've had rainfall totals up over 2.5 inches since midnight. Here at Clearwater, the closest personal weather station, the PWS as we call it in meteorology, has recorded just over 1.5 inches of rain. So we've had a lot of rain just for this calendar day, and more is on the way. We expect the brunt of the rainfall, the heaviest rainfall, to be on the west side of Florida, not on the east coast today. That's going to rotate around as we get into tomorrow, the 4th and the 5th, as we keep an eye on the southeast coast and off the southeast coast to see what develops. Meanwhile, here's the Gulf, and notice it's not nearly as choppy as yesterday. The winds are much lighter, and right now they're blowing more offshore, more from the east and southeast than from the south, like yesterday, south and southwest. So we've got 1 to 2 footers. Got some folks in the water already. You know why? Because the water is incredibly warm. 86 degrees today. Boy, that is warm stuff. Remember, when we talk about hurricane development, we usually think of the threshold as being 82 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. Now, with that said, that doesn't mean something's going to develop. You've got to have more than that. You've got to have clusters of thunderstorms. You can't have wind shear. You can't have dry air. So it all factors in. So just because you have warm water, that's not the end all. But look what's happened this morning. We had that big gusty squall and heavy rain, plus the tide was high earlier, around 6. So we got this river of water, these inland pools stretching from south of here on the other side of the Pier 60 bridge, coming under and then out here. In fact, we actually have about a foot cut here, a little bit of an erosion here on the beach caused by the fresh water running offshore into the salt water in the Gulf. So that's kind of interesting. Let's show you the skies. Back there is where we've got some heavier rain, back inland, looking off to the south and southeast. And there's been some lightning. We had about 12 bolts close in this morning here at Clearwater Beach. I'll show you the video. This is what I shot just before 6:30 is when the squall came in. And you know when it's coming because you hear the whoosh of the wind, and then within about a half a minute, boy, it just starts pouring down. The peak gust was 31 miles an hour. Not quite tropical storm force, but it was a little sporty out here for a while. Now we'll pan off and look at the Gulf and notice we've got some blue sky out there. There will be some sunshine here and there today. Nothing like yesterday. Yesterday was just a classic Florida beach day. July 2nd, upper 80s, and the very warm water and no threat of any storms, at least in this area. We had storms developing yesterday inland. So Britta, we keep watching and waiting on this development. The odds now 60% that we will have some low pressure developing off the southeast coast later in the weekend and early next week. And what does that mean for the weather? The sensible weather at the beaches of the Carolinas, Georgia, and northern Florida. It may mean not much of anything if all the rain stays offshore, but don't count on that. We got a long way to go, and we just don't know right now if something develops. Does it try to move inland? Does it stall? But the models are not very enthusiastic about this at all. Right. I mean, they are showing some type of low pressure, but at this point, it's just kind of a wait and see, and be prepared for storms on those beaches in the southeast starting Saturday or starting Sunday into Monday and Tuesday. But if everything stays offshore, it could turn out to be a stretch of really good beach weather.
Yeah, I mean, you could have offshore winds, which would be lower humidity for the Carolinas, killer waves for surfers. So, you know, we'll have to wait and see, as you said, Mike.
Looks like the beach packs up pretty quickly, but it also opens up pretty quickly
clears out very quickly as well
as the storms move on. All right, Mike Seidel, appreciate it from Clearwater Beach this morning. Thanks, Mike.
Well, north of where Mike is.
We want to kick things off. Clearwater Beach, Florida, where our storm specialist Mike Seidel has been this morning. I wondered, Mike, if maybe we'd be able to see the sun, and look at that. I see your shadow at least.
Yes, and that means there's going to be 6 more weeks of whatever. Anyway, as far as I do what I can do. As far as the sun, it's out now. We told you it was going to come out because there's not a solid overcast over the Gulf of Mexico. But we had a kind of a squirrely squall line this morning. Take a look at the video I shot just up on the street here in Clearwater Beach. This is just before 6:30, and the wind came whooshing through the area. Nice cool breeze, and then the rains came. Horizontal rain with that blowing wind. The peak gust at the nearby weather station at 31 miles an hour, and rainfall totals so far have been pretty hefty. Here at the beach, personal weather station down the beach has picked up just over 1.5 inches of rain. And then those areas inland towards Largo and Clearwater itself, we've had some measurements just over 2.5 inches of rain since midnight. So we've already done very well, and that's certainly helping out the drought situation here in Florida. Meanwhile, the water is warm, and I had a chance, guys, to go in yesterday after my shift, and boy, it was like my Saturday night drawn bath. It was 87. Now I checked this morning, it's saying a little over 86 degrees, but it is very, very warm. Oh my gosh. I mean, you can't even, well, maybe you can't imagine how warm this water feels on these quartz white sand beaches. Tide is now going out, as you can see. Low tide's about 1:30 this morning. I want to show you the visible satellite photo. We showed you this last hour, and you can see off the coast, there's a lot of clear skies. So we're going to have in and out sunshine, and we may still have certainly some more showers and thunderstorms. That's not out of the question. But, you know, you just can't throw the towel in on the beach day in Florida because, boy, you know, it rains for an hour and then look at this. It's just stellar out here. You guys enjoying the beach?
Absolutely.
Where are you from?
New York. Just moved down to Dunedin in May.
New York City?
About an hour north of New York City.
Westchester?
Orange County.
Orange County. How do you like it down here?
I love it.
Are you going to miss shoveling the snow?
No, I'm going to measure the sunshine instead of snow from now on.
How many friends already hit you up for a trip down here in the off?
Well, first one.
Oh, well, you're going to come back in January, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
What's your name?
Debbie.
Debbie, and your name is?
Dan Reedy.
So you lived in Orange County. What town?
Goshen.
Okay. And how many years did you shovel snow?
60.
Oh, gosh. So now, forget about it, huh?
Yeah. I walked my daughter down the aisle in October, and I made the decision right then and there. I says, I'm moving south.
And you're saying no trips to New York unless it's between May and September. Right?
Maybe a doctor's visit, and that's about it.
Okay.
Hopefully not
Hey,
many.
nice to meet you.
You too.
Guys, enjoy the sun.
Thank you very much. Good
Maybe a
chatting.
few more showers, but, you know.
Yeah.
It's Florida.
Here's the Fox News.
Yeah, thanks.
All right,
Thanks,
brother.
guys. Okay, there you go. Well, there's a happy camper, Britta, Stephen.
Gotta love it.
Somebody who
I think you found the
shoveled snow
best.
for 60 years.
Man.
Shoveled the snow for 60 years.
He's over it.
And now is down here. Yeah, he's done. He's not going to be shoveling any snow here. I don't think so.
You know what? I'm on
although
board
we
with
did
that
have that
guy. That's
snowstorm
my
last
plan.
year.
I'm going to retire in Florida too.
That was a great find.
Well, that'll be. Yeah, those guys are happy, and you can tell. You can just look at him and tell that this is incredible. I don't have to
Yes.
shovel snow anymore. I don't have to deal with sub-zero wind chills. I know how he feels. I mean, I live in Atlanta. I like the change of seasons, but
Yeah.
Atlanta is not New York as far as the climate. It's colder in New York in the winter. and
sure.
the winters in Atlanta tend to be mild. You know, maybe gets down to 15 every now and
Britt
then.
and I were talking
anyway,
yesterday,
good
Mike.
to talk to the folks on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
We were talking yesterday and saying how in the Northeast it just feels like winter drags on and on.
takes
even
too
toward
long
Mother's
to
Day
get
in May.
warm.
It's still cold, not really outside. So, hey, good for the transplants.
And now I have a very iconic lyric in my head from a Jimmy Buffett song, but it's not TV friendly. So I'll leave it to your guys'
isn't?
imagination on which one it is. A famous lyric about
What song?
your worst. You know what?
Just say it. This is weather.
When
Was
your
it
biggest
from
worry
changes
is
in latitudes,
your
changes in
in the
attitudes,
sand.
or? Oh, I know that lyric.
Yes.
I know that lyric.
That should be all of our biggest worries.
Rhymes with. Yeah.
Well, I
Okay,
love your
guys.
friends from New York.
We'll,
we love you, Mike.
And one more thing, you know, all seriousness with this weather, what we're here for is we're watching the tropics.
Yes.
And we have that area that we're watching, the Hurricane Center's watching. Nothing has developed yet, but there's a 60% chance of development in the next 7 days. And we're likely going to move in that direction,
Yeah.
towards Jacksonville, towards the
Yeah.
Carolina beaches, to keep you updated. Just keep an eye on Fox Weather, and we'll see how things go on the Georgia and Carolina beaches as we get into, say, Sunday, Monday,
Yeah.
and Tuesday. By then, obviously, we'll know if we have a depression, we don't have anything, if it stays offshore, and the impacts. But right now, it's just a kind of a long wait and see for impacts on those beaches at the end of the holiday weekend.
Yeah, it's entirely possible that maybe today and tomorrow will be the wettest days that Tampa gets in and drying out. So have fun in the water. Mike Seidel there.
There he
Oh, my
goes.
Chatting with the folks.
Incredible, incredible.
Bath water.
Enjoy
already
it.
that
We'll
way.
talk
Thank
to you soon, Mike.
In. So let's get out there. Fox Weather's Mike Seidel is live from Clearwater Beach, Florida. Beachgoers bracing for that heavy rain, but Mike, looking good for now. I know you were dealing with a couple storms earlier today, right?
Yes, indeed. I'm looking at the radar right now. There's some showers offshore to our north. In fact, let's spin around. You can see the dark sky. Of course, that is increased because of the contrast with the sun out on this end, but you see off to the north and northwest, we've got some showers up there, way up there. But nothing imminent here at Clearwater Beach. That doesn't mean it won't rain this afternoon. But yeah, Jane mentioned the storm earlier. This is from just before 6:30 this morning. And take a look at the rain and the wind. We gusted to 31 miles an hour here at Clearwater Beach. Yeah, not incredibly strong, but when you throw in that heavy rain, it was blowing around, as you can see. It lasted about 20 minutes, the heavy rain, 15 to 20 minutes, and it slowly backed off. And we haven't had any rain here for several hours. In fact, the sun has been out now for about 90 minutes, in and out. There's still you can see a lot of cumulus clouds around, a lot of tropical cumulus clouds. So it gives us a break from this blazing July sun angle at this latitude. I mean, you can get burned in literally 7 or 8 minutes if you're fair-skinned. One thing we're loving is the water. Now the tide is going out. Low tide is coming up at about 1:20, just before 1:30 this afternoon. And I can tell you, you don't find water much warmer than this. Even in the Caribbean, 84, 85. The water yesterday and today, 86, 87. So it is very, very warm. The concern now in the longer term, out 7 days, is the National Hurricane Center has this area they're watching off the southeast coast. They've taken the Gulf out of that area that they've circled on their map. And what they're thinking is we could get a tropical depression on this old front, which will stall out later in the weekend or early next week. It's not a slam dunk. If it forms, what happens? Does it move north? Does it move northeast out to sea? What kind of impacts do we have on the beaches of the Carolinas and Georgia? That is all up for discussion. We don't have answers now. I would say enjoy your week at the beach, your weekend, your holiday weekend at the beaches. Keep an eye on the radar, especially here in Florida, because there's going to be more storms here than in the Carolinas over the next couple of days. And if you're going to, say, Myrtle Beach or Tybee or Isle of Palms or Wrightsville Beach, just remember of what's potentially going to impact your beach weather early next week, potentially. We could have a depression off the coast and very little impact on shore. So there you go, Jane. And Stephen, that's how it shakes out right now. We're just going to have to watch and wait. It's a slow process. This is not something that's coming in from the Atlantic or from the Gulf that's already developed and is going to develop rapidly, and we have to put up warnings and watches. Nothing like that. It's just something that we need to watch, and the Hurricane Center will have another update coming up here in less than 2 hours, about 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
Mike, we'll certainly be watching and waiting, but I think you're right. At least through the holiday weekend, those showers and storms favoring our beaches in Florida. Mike, thanks for the update. We'll be checking back in with you at the top of the hour. No better person to talk about it than our Mike Seidel, who's standing on the beach there in Clearwater. Mike, it's been touch and go for the last couple of hours throughout the day today, but the last few days.
Yesterday was beautiful. Today we had the squall line this morning. Let me show you that. I guess maybe not a squall line, a tropical squall. Let me show you what it looked like. 6:20, 6:25 this morning. It came blasting on through. You feel that wish of that cooler air, a few degrees cooler, and then immediately the rain starts to blow on through. We had a wind gust of 31 miles an hour, so not quite tropical storm force. And rainfall totals, get this, since midnight we've had some locations in Largo and up in Clearwater, or just east of here from Clearwater Beach, up 2.5 inches plus. The rain gauge, the personal weather station just up the beach from here, has picked up about 1.6 inches. So that was from 2 basic blobs of rainfall. But the one this morning, I didn't hear the one overnight. The one this morning, we had about a dozen lightning bolts within, say, 3 or 4 miles. We just had the shower that Jane showed you on one of the cameras here at Clearwater Beach. A lot of folks ran for the hills, but a lot of folks have tents and cabanas out here, and they knew it was going to be a brief hit, and they hunkered down, or they got under the Pier 60 pier here. A lot of folks hang out under here just to stay out of the sun, and then if you get a rain shower, you're fine. But the rain showers have moved off, and look how quickly the sky turns blue. So the sun's coming back out for a while. Nothing upstream, but again, these 2 little cells that popped up and hit us in the past 10 to 15 minutes developed just offshore. They weren't something we saw 30 to 45 minutes out. So that's going to happen with the heating of the day in this kind of atmosphere. So we move forward to what the National Hurricane Center is watching off the coast of the southeast U.S., Georgia, the Carolinas. Development now, 60% chance at 7 days, 20% at 48 hours or 2 days. So there's a likelihood, at least better than 50-50 now, that we have some kind of low pressure develop along this old front or washed out boundary or trough off the coast sometime later in the weekend or early next week. Does it go north inland? Does it just fall apart? Does it not even form at all? So there's a lot of questions to be asked. Best thing is to stay with the weather, stay with Fox Weather and also the National Hurricane Center, and we'll keep you updated. But we'll keep you updated too from the field. Here in Florida, though, for today and tomorrow, we're going to have the continued risk of showers and thunderstorms. On the radar, you can see it's raining just about here, there, and everywhere across the peninsula. I should say we've got some heavier rain, lightning, and thunder. In fact, there's a special marine warning for about another 10 minutes on the East Coast from Jupiter Inlet down to Deerfield Beach. That's Palm Beach, and Broward County. So gusty winds there may exceed certainly 30, 35 miles an hour. And there's some storms and rain down through the Everglades. We had some heavier rain early in Lee and Collier County, and there's also some rain in Central Florida. So it's not raining everywhere, and as we showed you on the camera, the rain lasts 5 minutes, and now the sun is coming out, and a lot of folks didn't even get out of the water. By the way, the water is a very balmy, Jane, 86 degrees. Let me go in for one last time here. I just got to feel this because, on the Jersey Shore, where I'm from on the Maryland-Delaware coast, the water never gets. How are you doing, sir? Where are you from?
I'm from Mason City, Iowa. Come here, Renee.
Mason City, Iowa.
Mason City, Iowa. Come here, Renee.
So are you on vacation?
We are.
For how long?
This is Renee.
Renee, and what's your name?
Mike. Mike and Renee. What's your name?
I'm Mike. Mike Seidel, Fox Weather, and you're Renee?
Hi, Renee.
And Mason City, Iowa. I've been there in the winter. Not fun.
No.
No, I mean, so what do you do in the winter? You stay up there, or do you try to get out as much as you
We
can?
just stay there and push snow, plow snow.
Okay.
So much fun.
Well, I met a guy earlier who's been shoveling snow for 60 years. He moved down here, and he's done 50 years.
50.
Do you shovel this? Well, you have a blower, right?
No, I don't touch snow.
You know.
No.
But
We
this,
got plow trucks
but this
here.
is nice, right?
This is life down. We love it down
So
here.
you're here for the whole week?
We are. Yeah.
Okay. Well, enjoy. It was nice meeting
Nice
you too.
meeting you, Mike.
Enjoy the sun, the surf, and the seafood.
All right. Sounds great.
Yeah.
We're just talking about seafood.
Yeah, seafood. Take care. Okay, Jane, a couple of happy folks from Mason City, Iowa, a spot that's really not my dream spot to be in January. I mean, for a blizzard, but Iowa winters, nothing like Clearwater Beach winters.
I'll take a Clearwater Beach winter too, Mike. I'm a beach girl myself, so enjoy it down there. I mean, you're right, 80-degree water. You don't really get that in the Northeast beaches ever. So
No.
soak it up. We'll be checking back in, Mike. Thanks for the live report there in Clearwater.
Okay.